better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm a-telling you why.
Why?
Santa Claus is coming to town. Gather round. He's making a list and checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming. You mean the big fat man with the long white beard? He's coming to town.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
It's day one.
Reindeer games.
You've been waiting for it. So have we.
Yeah. All year. I hope everybody's been good.
I swear we tried to pare it down this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. But there's just so much good stuff out there.
So many fun things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Lots
have
of
to
fun.
we have to share it with you all.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll try and be quick and go through it. And then you can get to treating yourself this Christmas.
Yep. Sounds good.
I'll go over a couple of the rules.
Yes.
We have specials every day, and they're only good until the end of the day. So don't keep stuff in your cart. You have to check out before the end of the day, or else those deals will be gone. If you are getting your stuff shipped, there is a flat rate for shipping. No matter how much you order, this stuff is discounted. So
right.
we can't do free shipping too. So you pay for your shipping once.
Okay. That's good to explain, because sometimes people get worried they're going to be putting things in and every day they're going to get charged for shipping, but that's not the case.
Yeah, so if you've already paid for your shipping, then the next day when you order more, you just say you've paid previously and you're good to go. Yeah. You can leave it till the last day if you're not sure whether you want your stuff shipped, and then just say, I want to pay for shipping on the last day. That's totally fine. Yeah. As long as one of those days that you order, you pay for your shipping and we're good.
Right.
I think the only thing that may be subject to additional shipping might be these large mats. Because typically, depending on what you've ordered along with them, they need to be shipped separately because they're difficult to pack with some other bulkier items.
Yeah.
But you will be contacted at the time of shipping to let you know what the extra fee is, and we deal with that.
Right. And for our local gals and
absolutely
come on in store pickup as usual.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And you will receive an email when all the orders are ready.
Well, when your order is ready.
When your order is ready, you will get an email, so you needn't worry that you get missed or anything.
Yeah.
And then you can pick it up when you like.
We're aiming for December 14th to have the majority or hopefully all of them ready. But as Tammy said, we will send you an email. Don't just come in on the 14th if you haven't gotten an email yet.
Yeah. We just want to save you a trip just in case.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we'll just get to the fun stuff now.
Yeah. Let's jump in.
So we have a few stocking stuffers that are great things to have in your sewing room that aren't expensive. They're usually under $20, and they're just great little tools to have.
You know what else they're good for? I heard another lady today come in talking about a guild. They were doing a Christmas swap.
Yeah.
And she said, I need, under this dollar, Secret Santa ideas, under a certain amount. And I ended up putting together 2 or 3 little items that she was thrilled. And I hadn't even thought about that. So this would be a perfect day to get something if you need for a Secret Santa or for a quilting friend.
Yep. And so we have a couple of splurges too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So we'll go through. We have the Gypsy Quilter matte cleaning pad. It's a nice little cute heart shape. It's made out of silicone, has a slot for your hands, and has a little textured grip on it. You put it on your fingers, rub it on your mat, and it's going to take all those little stuck fibers out of the grooves in your mat. And it works fantastic. Great for keeping your mat nice and clean.
Yeah.
And great cheap price point.
Yep. Yeah, nice and inexpensive. Another nice cleaning idea. This is for those who have the wool mats.
Yeah.
This is it's got, I don't know what you want to call this here.
Yeah,
it's a little sharp, but you run it across your mat and all those tiny little pieces that you're trying to pick up after you've been ironing, they all come together. It comes off so well. And I think you said you use it for cat hair.
Oh my gosh. It is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It is my favorite new tool. My daughters both have those wool like egg chairs in their rooms. And one is used very frequently by one of our cats.
Right.
And the vacuum just like is ridiculous. It doesn't even touch it. You have to sit there and brush forever with the vacuum. That thing, you just run it over the chair. All the cat hair's gone. There's no trying to pick out every last little hair. Yeah. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I do like it. I don't have a cat.
Yeah. I'm sure it would work for dog hair too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it does.
Yeah.
I have heard rumor people using it for dog hair as well. But definitely your wool mat, it is a wonderful tool. I really, really like it.
You don't want to use it on knit items.
No,
it will pull.
It will pull.
But it also works well on your wool mats for if you've used a little bit too much starch and you have some scorching, or if your cat likes to use your wool mat as a bed and has compressed it, you can use it to actually fluff the surface of your wool mat back up too.
Yeah. And as a note, it really does remove scorch marks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I might have done that. Anyways, cleaning tools. Those are good. Good to have.
Sticking with the cleaning tools, we have the Oh So Clean brush sets. 3 different colors. They come with a little microfiber cloth.
Yep.
And a little brush to brush all the lint out of your bobbin area.
Yeah, there's a couple of long brushes and short.
Yeah. Did you know you were supposed to do that?
Yeah.
So that just helps keep your sewing machine clean and functioning well, because we all know what it's like when the machine stops working.
We know why. And you hear that clunk sound? Trust me, you got to pull out that bobbin casing.
Yeah, if your feed dogs are actually lifting your needle plate as you're sewing, that probably means there's a little bit of lint in there.
Yeah. The different colors just mean the color on the handles. So that's the only difference between any of these.
And the color of the cloth.
The cloth, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good.
They're super cute.
Yeah.
They have a little design on the cloth, like it's a little quilt.
I like the way these ones have the thicker end.
Yeah.
They're easy to hold on to when you're trying to kind of get into all those crevices. They're handy to have.
Yep.
Very handy. Okay.
And then what else do we have?
For cleaning.
This is kind of cleaning.
Kind of, yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
If you struggle with your quilt dragging when you're trying to do some free motion quilting, or even just like, walking for quilting, we have the, I think it's a polish kit. It's for polishing your, the bed of your machine and your acrylic bed or your table, whatever you have your machine on. This is the So Very Smooth polish set. I have used this a few years ago. A friend of mine was actually selling them, and this stuff is gold. Like it will slick up your table like nothing you've ever tried before. And it comes with a couple of little cloths that you use to just spread it on, and then one to buff it.
Buffing, yeah.
And then you're off to skating.
I'm sure we've all had that when you sometimes get the drag on when you're quilting something. Yeah, this makes a huge
and a little
difference.
goes a long way.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course it comes in a pretty purple case. So
absolutely.
That's got to make us all happy. Okay, next.
So we can talk about, let's just talk about the Quilter Select mats. So we have 2 Quilter Select rulers as a feature today. And
which one did you get? The 24?
the 6x24 and the 6x12.
Yes.
If you don't have any rulers, you're just getting into quilting, or your rulers are getting kind of, long in the tooth and faded and not really working that great for you anymore. Those are the two ones that we recommend you start out with. 6x12, 6x24.
Yeah. The Quilter Select, the really exciting part with these guys is that when you put your fabric down, you put your ruler on it, it is not going to slip and slide on you. There's a grippy something, I don't know what you want to call it, on the back, and it keeps them from moving on you. But the really good part is that even though there's a coating on the back, you can still see all the markings. And that's one of the things I find with some rulers, when you can't see the markings properly, that's when, well, obviously you're going to make some errors. Yeah. And that's, so twofold, doesn't move, and you get to see all of these markings really, really clearly.
Yeah.
This is actually one of my favorite. This is probably my go-to.
Yeah, I like the 6x24.
So if I'm cutting, of course, yardage, then we're going to go to this. But I don't know what it is. This one just seems to work.
Yeah.
It's a good size. So.
Yeah. And to go along with the rulers, because they don't move, I have found that using the ruler handle on the rulers is like night and day. You don't have to wear out your fingertips trying to pick it up. If you need to nudge it just a little bit, it's easier to do it with the ruler handle because you can just pick it up and move it. Whereas if you try and actually nudge it like you normally would, they don't move.
Yeah.
So the ruler handle comes in really handy, and I use it at home all the time. And here, the ruler that I usually use has the ruler handle on it permanently.
Yeah. But they can come off.
Yep.
Right? So you can switch them out if you have different rulers that you like to use. I mean, or because of the price point is so great, you could always have a couple.
Absolutely.
And then you've got them handy for yourself, which is good. Okay.
So the rulers in conjunction with the mats that I said we were going to speak about, and then started talking about something else. They go hand in hand with the mats. They are double-sided. We do have all 4 sizes available. They have the nice light gray on one side and darker on the other side. So you always have the right color available so that you can see your fabric as well as possible. I love this mat. We've been using them at our cutting tables ever since we started carrying Quilter Select.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't get a year out of an Olfa mat at our cutting tables.
No.
And we've had the Quilter Select ones at our table for, I think, almost 5 years now. Yeah. And they're still going.
Yeah. So you're probably going to look at this and say, well, what size do I want? What size do I actually need? And I like, of course, you have your big mat because you need that. You need when you're cutting large pieces and yardage and that sort of thing for your big quilts. Sometimes you want a smaller mat. If you are, and I will put it right on top of my mat, if I don't have a turning table.
A rotary mat.
As long as I've got a small one that I can keep on top, it's very easy for me to turn it if I need to make different cuts, trim different size downs. Edges. And I did it in one of my classes I was teaching, and somebody said to me, my God, I never thought about, I always thought you had to have a rotary, like a Lazy Susan mat.
Yes.
Nope, you just have to do this. So yes, these are a little bit of an investment piece, but these things are great. They are so good to have as an extra.
At the end of the
your
day,
sewing room.
I actually find these easier to turn than a rotary mat anyway.
Yeah, I agree. So you might look at it and say, well, why do I need one like that? Well, now you know. Okay. So there you go. Speaking of cutting, let's go into our rotary cutters.
Yeah. We have the Quilter Select Rotary Cutters on again this year in both the 60 mil and the 45 mil. If you're looking for a rotary cutter that just feels nice in your hand, works, has a quick change blade, You might want to consider the Quilter Select. It is a little bit more expensive, but it's not a plastic,
No.
and I'm not saying that Olfa's bad.
No.
They are good quality cutters for what they are. This is just a step up.
So, and the one thing I think for people that have trouble with, remembering to close their blade, the Quilter Select, it's a very simple technique. You just simply, tap it as soon as you're finished cutting, and it automatically closes. You don't have the worry of leaving your blade open, forgetting to, click that button or anything like that. So, and it has a bit of weight to it.
Yes.
So some people like to have that control because the weight in their hand gives them a better control of their cutting.
Yep.
Yeah.
We also have the replacement blades for Quilter Select along with that in both sizes and in single packs and multi-packs. If you like Olfa blades, which I do, I'm an Olfa diehard, they do work in the Quilter Select cutter. As well, the Quilter Select blades work in the Olfa cutters. So you can go either way depending on what you feel like.
Now,
you know what my favorite is.
I know, me too. So the endurance is, there's just something. They do last longer. There's
Absolutely
no question. The amount of cutting that we do, and we write the dates on the blade so that we know how long we've had them. It's months. I kid you not. It is months that we have a blade in, and they work great. So
yeah. I'm not one for gimmicks much, and when these first came out, I'm like, seriously? Like, how much longer can it really last for?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the first time I tried one of these, I sliced through 8 bolts of fabric. Like 8, which is
layers.
16 layers, like it was butter.
Yeah.
And I use that blade in the cutter that I use here probably for close to 6 months. And that is hundreds and thousands of fat quarters. And
I was just going to say, when you see all of the bundles that we have, all the pre-cuts that are done here are all cut.
Most of them.
Yes. So they work great. They're worth the investment, worth the money.
Yeah.
That's not to say that there's anything, again, wrong with these ones. It's just we have tried them.
Yeah.
And we really like them.
Yeah.
So
if you look at the price difference and you're questioning why are these that much more expensive, that's why.
That's exactly it.
Yep.
So.
Now, the only time I'll tell you to shy away from these is if you are the type of person who will just grab your rotary cutter and cut cardboard or paper, or you have pins laying around and you don't mind going over those every once in a while, then I'd say don't waste your money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of lasting a little bit longer, Superior titanium top stitch needles.
Yeah, make a big difference.
I use those for everything. I change my needle when my needle starts getting cranky at me, and you can leave.
How much longer would you say? What do you get out of yours?
Superior says it's somewhere around 8 times the life of a regular,
regular needle.
A regular needle. Okay. Yeah. And I'd say if I wasn't doing bags and stuff so often, that if I was just regular piecing, absolutely for sure. Yeah, 5 times at least.
Yes.
So if you're questioning the difference in price between those and regular needles as well, that's why, because you don't change them after 8 hours of sewing.
No, definitely not. No. Okay.
You want to talk about the tulip needles?
Well, I thought you would want to talk about the tulip needles. Always an ongoing issue with us. Sometimes we find things that one likes and the other doesn't, or makes the other one like it. Go ahead.
I first tried these on a trip to the US when I was looking for some nice long bendy needles because I have a particular taste for my needles. And found...
That is a technical term.
Found...
Bendy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I found the tulip needles, and when I went through each type they had, it was the quilt basting needles that I chose.
Okay.
I use them for pretty much everything except for cross stitch. Even though it says they're basting needles, I use them for sewing on my binding, doing my applique, whatever.
You use those for applique?
Absolutely.
Isn't the shaft too big?
No.
Oh.
No. I like it for everything.
Okay, so now you're going to listen here. Okay. The applique.
I use the tapestry ones for my cross stitch.
Yes. They also have the eye is a little bit easier to see to see. That
and the tip is not sharp.
No.
Because if you're trying to do cross stitch with a sharp needle, you are going to want to stick it in your eye.
Yeah. You're gonna if you have too sharp of a needle, because I go to 24, between 24 and 22 is my number. Any sharper and you're going to start to shred your cloth, and you don't want to do that. So, yes, Tammy did introduce me to these, and I went to that side, and I do like those.
She went struggling.
Oh yeah, I did. These ones though, the applique, are phenomenal. And for those of you who have taken my class in applique, have learned how much I love it, and how this with the big eye applique makes your work just go so much smoother. You want, when you're working with them, to have a needle that's not going to, leave a huge hole in your, because that's the whole idea, is that you're hiding your thread. You want it all to disappear and melt together. These needles will do the trick for you. Absolutely. And I think we've got a few of these.
Yes.
Very good. So, that's...
I'm not going to say that I don't use these, but I don't particularly care for them because they're a little short for me.
Oh, okay.
I prefer a longer needle.
Yeah.
So if you prefer a shorter needle,
that's your...
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay.
So...
I might, just because, give these a try. Well, I might.
I don't know what you've been waiting for.
Well, I'm only going to do it just for you. Okay. So stitching, and then we have to take it all and unstitch.
Hopefully not.
Well, it happens.
If you have to, that's the best seam ripper.
Great one. Aside from the fact of the way it sits in your hand, I know I've had this discussion with people. I don't want it too big. I don't want it too small. How sharp is it? Do you know what my biggest thing is that it does not roll off the table.
Yep.
It doesn't roll off because it's flat.
Yep.
So, because inevitably the other ones I'm looking for, and they've rolled off the table on me. These do not. They're sharp. They're phenomenal, and I would have more than one of these in my sewing room.
Yep. They're my
at
absolute favorite seam ripper.
Yeah.
Not that any seam ripper is really my favorite, but...
Yeah, well, it's a reality, though, and you want something that's going to work well, and that one does, and more importantly, it doesn't roll away, so.
Keeping on line with pins and needles, we also have the Quilter Select pin tins. They are nice little tins that you can keep all your pins in. They come with glass head pins. They are, I'm not going to say extra fine, but they are fine. They're not so fine that they bend when you put them in your fabric, though. And those are a nice little stocking stuffer, too. I think there's like 100 pins.
Okay.
When you put them in. And the bottom of the case is magnetic as well, so you can turn it upside down and they don't come out.
Or if you do drop your pins, turn it upside down and
use it to
find all the pins you dropped. Another magnetic. This is kind of cool. This is new to us. Now there we go. For your scissors, your pins, and this is magnetic. So if you are going anywhere, if you're in the car maybe, and you don't want stuff to roll around and get away from you, you can put this in your bag, and you've got it all in one spot. And this is quite the magnet in here, so that's
yeah, it covers the whole bottom of the case.
Of the case, yeah.
And it's
deep. It's a good size.
It's not the strongest magnet, but it's just meant to stop stuff from completely flying around in there. The case is nice and sturdy though for a plastic case. I was actually pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, that one's kind of nice. So we've got that.
Another necessity.
Yes.
505. Mm-hmm. You need some of this, even if you don't really baste your quilts with it. It's really great for just, if you're throwing together a table runner and you don't want the pins to be in your way.
Yeah.
Something small like that works well. If you are an embroiderer, I've always found this helpful to actually place your fabric on the hoop if you don't want to pin it.
Yes.
It works great for all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a good product. It definitely is. We forgot about one thing here.
Ruler racks.
Ruler racks.
So we do have a couple of different types. We have the one from OmniGrid if you like a long, sort of smaller footprint.
Yes.
It has 5 slots in it. Can hold a bunch of rulers.
So, if you're tempted to go just this way, but if you run out of space or you have more rulers, you could go. Sorry, I realized I'm just covering your whole face.
Whatever.
We're fine. Same with this, and they do stand up quite nicely.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And then we also have the Quilter Select ones, which are a little bit bigger, a little bit more, a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
These are actually like an unfinished wood, so you could paint and stain them if you like. Yeah. I kind of like the unfinished look of them too. It's just, they're great. They have little recesses in them for putting scissors and bobbins and needles, stuff like that.
Yeah. Same ripper.
We have 2 different versions. One is a 3mm width on the slots, and that will be for your regular rotary cutting rulers.
Yep.
This is the 6mm version, and that would be more for your thicker quilting rulers, so they would fit in. You can also use your rotary cutting rulers with that as well. They're just going to lean a little bit more.
Now, would you double up?
I'm not sure that both will fit in there at
Just
the
a thought.
same time. Yeah, I never thought about that either. Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do. So there you go.
So you can put 2 rulers in one slot if you're really ruler heavy and running out of space.
That's right. Okay.
So I think that's it for today.
I think it is.
Remember, get your orders in before the end of the day, or else
before
all
midnight.
of these deals are done. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll see you again tomorrow.
Tomorrow's another day. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm a-telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to